Hi everyone, this is GP Singh and welcome to the quest for knowledge. So in this video today, we will be discussing about the power of compounding. So as we know, compound interest plays a very important role in managing our personal finance as it helps in growing our money faster. So in the template today, we will be discussing the difference between simple interest and compound interest with the help of numbers, calculations, analysis, and charts. So as usual, we will be using two tools, Microsoft Excel and ChatGPT for any help required. So let's jump into it. Let Microsoft Excel as well as GPT. Great. Okay. So for interest calculation, we need to have three basic information. One, the amount of the principal or the money what we want to invest, the rate of interest, and the period for which we want to make the investment. So we will start with very simple calculation of so we'll start with understanding how the interest is calculated, simple interest as well as compound interest. Let's take an example that we want to invest 1000 rupees per month and the rate of interest is 6% per annum and the investment period is 20 years. So let us do the simple interest calculation and the compound interest calculation for this data set. So let's first go to simple calculation. So the amount invested per month is 1000 rupees, which we call the principal amount, and the investment period is 20 years converted into months, 240 months, which we use the symbol T, that is time. And let's assume the interest rate is 6% per annum. Okay, and the compounding frequency is monthly. It means the interest will be calculated at the end of the month. If we consider different compound frequency, for example daily or weekly, the results will be different. Okay, so let's first understand the simple calculation, the simple interest, and then we'll go to compound interest. So before that, let's understand what is the definition of simple interest and compound interest. For that, I'll take the help of ChatGPT. Plain simple interest and compound interest in simple terms in 50 words. Okay, so let's see what it says. Simple interest is earned on the original investment only, calculated by multiplying principal, rate, and time. Compound interest is earned on both the original investment and accumulated interest, resulting in exponential growth. It is calculated by periodically reinvesting earned interest back into the principal. So basically what it says that in case of simple interest, the interest is calculated only on the principal amount. Okay, and the formula used for that is multiplication of principal, rate, and time. Whereas in case of compound interest, the interest is calculated not only on the principal amount but also on the interest which was earned earlier. So that's why the money grows faster if we go for compounding. Okay, so this is the definition of simple interest and compound interest. So by using that definition and that formula, let's understand. Okay, so in this case we are investing 1000 rupees per month and the investment period is 240 months, that is 20 years. So calculation in this case is very simple. Simple interest, how do we calculate? We are doing basically the multiplication of P, T and I, and T and I we are converting into per month interest because the interest rate here is 6% per annum, whereas the period is in months. So we need to align these two. Okay, so the period has to be same, the unit of the period has to be same in the investment period as well as the rate of interest. So the formula is very simple here, as you can see. Okay, P into T into I, In this case, the principal is 1,000 rupees, and the interest rate is divided by 12 because 6% is per annum, and then it is multiplied with the period. So in this case, when we invest for 20 years, on the first investment which we make, and let's assume that we are making the investment at the beginning of the year so that we get the interest for the full period. Okay, so when you start your investment, let's say for simplicity, we start our investment on 1st January 2023. So if we are investing this money for 20 years, we will get the interest for 240 months, right? So for 240 months, this amount 1000 will become 1200. Now we go to the second month. There, what happens that the interest period will reduce by 1 month because the 1 month has already gone. Now we are in February, so the interest we will get for 239 months, right? So that's why the interest amount is reducing from 1200 rupees to 1195 rupees, and so on. Interest, and then accumulation of that, we just add the total interest earned, which is the total is here in the bottom, 1,44,600. And then if you want to know the accrued interest or accumulated interest at the end of each month, we just keep on accumulating, and the accumulated amount will be, of course, the investment plus accumulated investment plus accumulated interest. Okay, so now if we go for simple interest, our 1,000 rupees, if we keep investing 1,000 rupees every month for 20 years, our accumulated amount at the end of 20 years will convert into 3,84,600. 20 year, the amount becomes 384,600, right? Now, this is so far as simple interest is concerned, but we'll be more interested in compound interest. So let's first understand how the compound interest calculation is done in a simple way, and then we'll apply the formula. The basic formula is same, that is principal into time into interest. So principal is 1,000 rupees, and the time is 240 months for the initial investment, and the rate of interest is 6% per annum and 6 divided by 12 per month. Okay, so in the first month, on 1,000 rupees, we earn an interest of 5 rupees, and our accumulated amount including interest becomes 1,005 rupees. So when we go to the next month, the interest will be calculated on 1,005 rupees, which is 1,000 plus 5, and the interest will become 5.03. Now see, the period has reduced from 240 to 239. Still the amount earned, the interest amount earned, is higher than the earlier one. Why? Because we are calculating the interest not only on the principal but including the interest. So you can see the interest is continuously increasing from 5 rupees to 5.03, and at the end of 20 years we are getting an interest of 16 rupees 47 paisa. The one we, now let's do the comparison of these two. As we saw in the case of simple interest, 1,000 rupees at the end of 20 year becomes 2,200 rupees, the simple interest of 6% per annum. But if we calculate this way, that is interest on interest, then this 1,000 rupees becomes 3,310 rupees. And how, understand how your money is changing from 1,000 rupees to 3,310 rupees in 240 months. This is the calculation for that. Okay. So basically the formula is same if we do a step-by-step calculation, but practically we will not calculate this way because this is time consuming. So there is a formula for that, and that formula is P into 1 plus I to the power T. Okay, that's how we calculate the accumulated amount, and then to calculate the interest, you simply subtract the principal amount, the initial investment. Okay, so this is how your 1,000 rupees becomes 3,310 rupees. Okay, and the money which you invested in the second month, it become 3,294 rupees. And you can see for each period of investment the money invested every month how it is. Now if we tabulate these results here, so let's see in 1 year. Okay, the first month the amount become 1,072, the second month it became 1127, and then 1197, and gradually it increased to 3,310 rupees. And the money which we invested on second month, it basically increased from 1,000 rupees to 3,294. So at the end of tabulated the entire calculation for 240 months. Okay, the money invested in every month, how it is growing. Okay, of course the lowest increase you will see towards the end of the investment period, because though the interest rate is same, but the money remain invested for shorter period. Okay, so this is how the money is converting. The initial amount, which was how much? The initial amount which we invested is 240,000. So our 240,000 is becoming 464,000 in 20 years. Okay, and if we apply the simple interest, okay, then our money is increasing to 384,620. Now if we tabulate this interested, but we'll be more interested in, so we'll be more interested in the compound interest calculation, and we'll see how our money growing. 12,000 rupees which we invested in the first year has grown to 38,653. The money which we invested in the second year, 12,000 rupees, that is now converted into 36,000. Gradually the amount is decreasing. That's because the time period is shorter. Okay, so the money which remain invested, or the money which remain invested for a longer period will definitely yield a higher interest, right? So in this case 12,000 has become 38,000, second year's 12,000 has become 36,000. As you can see at the end, the money which we invested on the 20th year, the 12,000 rupees has grown to 12,397. This is how our total investment of 2,40,000 rupees has grown to 464,371 rupees. Now let's do a tabulation of the results to see the gap. Okay, so here we have the accumulated amount. If we invest 1,000 rupees per month at the rate of 6% per annum for 20 years, this is how our money grows. Okay, so and we can see the numbers in the chart. So at if we apply the simple interest, the money becomes 385,000 rupees, or 3,85,000 rupees. This is in KINR. So if we invest 1,000 rupees per month regularly for 20 years, and if we apply the simple interest, the accumulated amount at the end of 20 year becomes 385,000. And if we apply the compound interest, the accumulated amount at the end of 20 year becomes 464,000, that is 4,64,000. So you can see the difference between these two is how much? 20%. So this is the power of compounding. This is the power of compounding. Because of the compound interest, our money accumulated amount will become 464,000. And as you can see in this graph, as the time progresses, the gap between these two increases. So the longer you remain invested, the more you get the advantage of your compounding. So here, if the interest is 5%, then of course the amount will change, okay? And if the interest is say 7%, then the gap will be higher, right? And the growth in the money will be, growth in the investment will be much faster, okay? So this is the power of compounding. So we need to make best use of compounding so that our investment grows faster and it helps us in wealth creation. So the rule is you will have to remain invested, okay? If you go for a recurring deposit for a small amount, suppose you can afford to save 5,000 rupees per month, okay? But you don't invest 5,000 rupees per month in the recurring deposit. Let's say you start with 2,000 rupees so that you are regular on that and you don't need to make any withdrawal in between. If you make the withdrawal in between, then you will not get the full benefit of compounding. So you will have to remain invested for a longer period of time, even if the amount is smaller, even if the amount is less, that's absolutely fine. But you will have to remain invested for a longer period, and longer the period, higher the benefit. Longer the period, higher the accumulated amount. So I hope that you found this template and this explanation useful, and you will use it in managing your personal finance better. If you have any query on this, you can mention in the comment box, and I'll share this template with you guys. I'll share the link in my YouTube channel, and you can download these templates and you can make best use of it. And if you need to make any amendment in the template or any change in the template to suit your requirement, you can do that so that you get the most benefit out of this. Just remember one thing, while using this template, you need to input your number only in these three cells, okay? The principal amount, the rate of interest, and the investment period. And this information is linked to all the templates, all the formulas, so you don't need to put any other form. For example, if you want to invest 2,000 rupees, it will work fine. Whatever amount you want to put, you can put it here, it will work, okay? So you put the amount here, you change the interest rate, which is whichever is applicable. So thank you very much, and see you in my next video on another topic related to personal finance. I'm launching a new YouTube channel dedicated to travel. So if you are interested in watching travel videos, knowing the local culture, knowing about the places of religious importance, the places of historical importance in various parts of India, do not miss out on those videos. So my first video on that channel will be from my recent visit to North Karnataka, and that video is dedicated to Kishkanda, the kingdom of monkeys, where Prabhu Sri Ram met Shugriva. Very interesting video, so don't miss out on any of my travel videos. Thank you.